Good day everyone. Welcome to Merivets Education Center. This series is for Mathematics for Term 6 and I am Teacher Hart. This video is all about addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of decimals. Are you ready? Let's get started. Addition of decimal. How do we add decimals? Do you have any idea? Let's find out. First, line up the decimal points by writing the problem vertically. Now look at this. There's nothing above 1, so use 0 as a placeholder to complete the column. Now it is easier for us to add. 0 plus 1 equals 1. 9 plus 4 equals 13. Carry 1 to the 10th place. 1 plus 0 equals 1. 1 plus 8 equals 9. 5 plus 3 equals 8. Now where do we put the decimal point? That's right. Line it up to the decimal points of the addends. So the sum of 5 and 900ths and 3 and 841 thousandths is 8 and 931 thousandths. Let's have another example. 2 and 17 hundredths plus 6 and 73 thousandths equals blank. First, write the problem vertically to line up the decimal points. Then use 0 as a placeholder to fill in the column. Now, add from right to left. Therefore, the sum of 2 and 17 hundredths and 6 and 73 thousandths is 8 and 243 thousandths. Let's proceed to subtraction of decimal. In subtracting decimals, we follow the same steps in adding decimals. So first, line up the decimal points. Then use 0 as a placeholder to fill in the column. Lastly, subtract the given numbers. 9 minus 0 equals 9. 3 minus 2 equals 1. 8 minus 6 equals 2. Line up the decimal point. And 7 minus 4 equals 3. Therefore, the difference of 7 and 839 thousandths and 4 and 62 hundredths is 3 and 219 thousandths. Let's practice. 6 and 98 hundredths minus 3 and 133 thousandths equals blank. What do we do first? That's right. Line up the decimal points. Then use 0 as a placeholder to complete the column. Lastly, subtract the given numbers. Since we cannot subtract 3 from 0, let's do regrouping. 8 becomes 7 and 0 becomes 10. Now subtract. So the final answer is 3 and 847 thousandths. Let's move on to multiplication of decimal. Multiplying decimals is quite similar in how we usually multiply whole numbers. First, write the decimal numbers vertically. Second, ignore the decimal point and multiply. 5 times 8 equals 40, carry 4 to the 10th place. 5 times 3 equals 15 plus 4 equals 19. Next, 2 times 8 equals 16. Carry 1 to the 10th place. 2 times 3 equals 6 plus 1 equals 7. Now let's add. 0 plus 0 equals 0. 9 plus 6 equals 15. Carry 1 to hundredths place. 1 plus 1 equals 2 plus 7 equals 9. Last step, determine where the decimal point goes to the product. Now let's count the decimal places. 1, 2. y2, 1 plus 1 equals 2. Now let's move 2 decimal places to the left. So the product of 3 and 8 tenths and 2 and 5 tenths is 9 and 50 hundredths. Find the product of 143 and 1 tenths and 1 and 6 tenths. What's the first step? Awesome! Write the decimal numbers vertically. Then ignore the decimal points and multiply. Lastly, determine where the decimal point goes to the product. How many decimal places do we put the decimal point? Good job! 2. Why 2? Let's count. 1, 2. So move 2 decimal places from the right. Therefore, the product of 143 and 1 tenths and 1 and 6 tenths is 228 and 96 hundredths. Let's proceed to division of decimal. How do we divide decimals? In dividing decimals, we have to make the divisor as a whole number. How do we do that? First, move the decimal point of the divisor to the right until it's a whole number. Second, move the decimal point in the dividend the same number places in the divisor. Third, put the decimal point directly above the decimal point in the dividend. Lastly, divide as usual. 97 divided by 23 equals 4. 4 times 23 equals 92. 97 minus 92 equals 5. Bring down 5. 55 divided by 23 equals 2. 2 times 23 equals 46. 55 minus 46 equals 9. Bring down 2. 92 divided by 23 equals 4. 4 times 23 equals 92. And 92 minus 92 equals 0. So 9 and 752 thousandths divided by 2 and 3 tenths is equal to 4 and 24 hundredths. Let's have another example. Find the quotient of 7 and 28 hundredths and 1 and 3 tenths. To make the divisor as a whole number, move the decimal point to the right until it's a whole number. Then move the decimal point in the dividend the same number places in the divisor. Next, put the decimal point directly above the decimal point in the dividend. Lastly, divide as usual. Therefore, the quotient of 7 and 28 hundredths and 1 and 3 tenths is 5 and 6 tenths. That's for today's video. I hope you've learned something new today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.